Good afternoon to all of you, and tell you that I feel so very honored to be reading to all of you today. In a recent yoga class, we chanted to open our hearts to compassion and wisdom. I thought I would be overflowing in both by this age, but the path to enlightenment is longer and more convoluted than I ever could have imagined. Through writing memoir, I am learning, ever so slowly, to deepen my sense of compassion. In writing the following piece, I became more compassionate toward myself. And I sincerely hope that wisdom soars in on the wings of the next piece I write. Big old legs. Legs. I love having them. I didn't always feel this way, though. Actually, I had to learn to appreciate my legs, much the same way one grows to become a loving, accepting partner or spouse. It developed over a long period of time, fraught with disappointments, rejection, and finally, reconciliation. During my childhood, I didn't pay any more attention to my legs than I did to my breakfast cereal or the color of the sheets on my bed. They brought me a certain freedom, the refreshing breeze on my face and the rush and power I felt as I roller skated down 52nd Street with my friend Annie on long August afternoons. And my legs kept me from getting caught too often when I played tag at recess. Whether they were big or small, battered or bruised, didn't matter, as long as they got me where I was going and back again. When my body started to evolve in its own peculiar time frame, my Aunt Lily was the first to take note. I see she's developing. Get her a bra yet, Hayes? I kept the white cotton Playtex bra that Mom bought me at the local 5 and Dime in my top dresser drawer, deciding only to wear it on special occasions. I actually loved parading around in it in private, conversing with my woman-growing self in the large mirror above the dresser in the bedroom I shared with my Aunt Honey. Standing with my back slightly turned toward the mirror, I'd hold my hair and my head up, tilting it to the side as if posing for a photograph. I look so pretty, I muttered, just as Aunt Honey came into the room for a handkerchief, leaving me with a soft smile. My scrawny legs blossomed too. Everyone on both sides of my family had big legs, so it didn't bother me that mine were expanding. Not until one morning at 6th grade recess, when they were called to attention. Jean and Jane, the twins, decided we should play baseball. Tall and muscular, the twins owned the schoolyard, and no one challenged the power they held on their turf. Jean and Jane called out names for their teams. When only my friend Sally and I were left, Jane hesitated until her twin shouted, "Hurry up and pick somebody so we have time to play." Pointing at me, Jane announced to the world, "I ain't picking her, that's for sure. Not with those big old legs. Probably can't even make it to first base." My friend Sally made a team. I didn't. Like the ugly duckling, I waddled my way off the field with my head down, seeking a distant corner to watch the game and wonder what to do about my lower limbs. That night at dinner, Mom reassured me that I was fine just the way I was. "We've got the Kramer legs," she stated matter-of-factly, knowing we couldn't do a thing about our inheritance. After dinner, I retreated to my room and lingered in front of the mirror behind the closet door. Heavy thighs peered out at me, and my large calves were balanced on thick ankles and big, wide feet. And my knees had extra padding. The next day, I bought a copy of 17 magazine, which I scanned for girls modeling swimsuits, so I could compare my legs with theirs. Tall, thin, and blonde, these Barbie doll-like models were not girls I could identify with, and their legs were perfect. Slim, lanky, and tan. One feature article addressed how to assess one's leg appeal. Standing in front of a mirror with my legs together, I should see 3 gaps. One between the thighs, one just below the knees, and one at the ankles. Mine only had one where my ankles met. I now saw my legs as quite imperfect, but they could not compare with my mother's. Working full-time as a saleswoman, doing housework and childcare, combined with an unlucky draw of the DNA, added weight to her legs, which were heavy, burdensome, and discolored by blue, purple, and green bulging veins and blood vessels. Often reminded that I was my mother's child, I lived in fear that I would inherit her wounded and unsightly legs. Wearing jeans or long dark skirts and black tights, I hid my legs from public view until my late 20s. And then I saw a poster advertising a class of self-expression through dance. And I decided to bring my legs out of the closet to recapture the joy they once brought me. Wearing black pants and an oversized t-shirt, I walked timidly into the dance studio where Adela Chu's electric smile and inviting arms summoned me. For an hour, I slowly released years of repressed joy as I jumped and jetted across the floor, lifted by pulsating Brazilian and Afro-Cuban rhythms. What powerful legs you have. You can fly, Adela beamed. Like a caged bird released into the wild, I found freedom in my natural habitat. That night, I carefully looked in the mirror and saw my legs for what they could do, not how they looked to others. Maybe I couldn't play baseball or run fast, but I could dance, which interested me much more ever since my papa infused me with delight as we waltzed and jitterbugged in our living room during my teenage years. In Adela's dance class, my self-confidence and appreciation for my legs began to blossom. Asking us to crawl like crabs and leap like frogs or soar like seagulls, Adela ignited the spark of movement that lay dormant in me for more than a decade. I leapt and circled and spun across the tiny dance floor to a sensual João Gilberto composition or percussive carnival samba music with equal enthusiasm. My empowered legs carried me across oceans of fear to a newfound paradise. Converted to a serious dance student, I signed up for a jazz dance class. Although the shortest and least trained dancer there, I stood tall among my classmates. Traveling across the dance floor to the 6/8 beat of John Coltrane's version of my favorite things, step 2, 3, turn 2, 3, step 2, 3, turn 2, 3. I could now hold on to my core as my legs carried my spirit above the earth. Every Friday evening in class, I resculpted my legs, which proudly glanced back at me in the mirror. In my early 30s, I began jogging in Golden Gate Park and in the hills near my home. Eventually, I ran and completed the Beta Breakers, a victory I celebrated for months. And as the weather got warmer and my legs grew stronger and shapelier, I traded in my sweatpants for shorts on my daily jaunts. From time to time, young and not so young men took a second look at my legs, vocalizing approval. 20 years away from my grade school playground, I thought of Jean and Jane, and I began singing, "If they could see me now." Newly invigorated, I hungered for new forms of expression through other dance genres. Walking down 24th Street one Saturday afternoon, hot, pulsating rhythms grabbed me, and I followed them into a storefront where a band was rehearsing. As I swayed my hips to the polyrhythmic music, the drummer called out, "It's salsa." I became a regular on Saturday nights at Kimball's Carnaval. dancing with men whose bodies vibrated with rhythm and passion for the music as mine did. I felt as if my legs were weightless as they carried me in flight. I confidently wore short, flowing skirts, and I loved the attention they brought. Walking past a row of men at the bar, I remember one great dancer who caught my eye and commented, "Nice legs." Recently, I've noticed a sprinkling of surface blood vessels decorating my legs, and some extra padding on my thighs and my knees, which I haven't been able to exercise away. The Kramer legs, I sighed. But these big old legs have carried me across San Francisco from the bay to the ocean, to the top of Upper Yosemite Falls and the pyramids in Teotihuacan, Mexico, across dance floors from San Francisco to Havana, and into the arms of some of the best dancers on the planet. Thank you.
Quero também contigo.